I'm sorry, there's no soliciting here, and we have a doorknob already.
It's your doorknob, actually.
I see. And how can I help you?
I have a special delivery here for Mr. Montgomery Shell of this address.
Mr. Shell?
Yes, Montgomery Shell. It's a special delivery, so he'll need to sign for it.
A delivery?
Special delivery.
For Mr. Shell?
Mr. Montgomery Shell, that's right.
May I?
Yes?
According to the markings on this envelope here, this is for Mr. Shell. And by the looks of it, it seems pretty important.
Sure. So if you'll just kindly show me where his office is.
It also appears that Mr. Shell will have to receive this personally, as it is a confidential letter. It's been marked urgent. That means it's imperative that Mr. Shell will receive this immediately. And this other marking here means it's confidential, so Mr. Shell will have to receive it personally.
That's right. I have to deliver that letter to Mr. Shell himself, so if you'll just show me where his office
Obviously,
is.
vital information. It's been marked urgent, so it's of the utmost importance.
That seems like a pretty important piece of correspondence.
Mr. Shell should get it straight away.
Regarding the question of confidentiality.
It should be delivered to Mr. Shell personally.
Mr. Shell's eyes only.
Right, Mr. Shell's eyes only.
I see. So I have to promptly deliver this letter to Mr. Shell himself, personally, in person, as it is both urgent and confidential.
Yes, that letter's quite important.
An urgent piece of mail.
If Mr. Shell shan't get it,
This company could fail.
it won't.
It won't.
You'll never see.
An end to this here company.
Our boss needs information.
From that letter that he holds.
Vital calculations.
Or myrrh, frankincense, and gold?
Delivered to his desk.
Mr. Shell's eyes only, yes.
There's a problem with that office, man. I mean, in the office. I mean, the guy's dead in there.
Incredible!
Incredible nothing, man. I mean, he's dead in there.
I must say, I am quite shocked.
You can say that, but I'm the one who saw him dead in there. I mean, my mind is full of fire and gasoline, and it's totally blown away. He's dead right in there, man. In that office, on the floor, dead.
That letter has been labeled urgent and confidential. It is obviously vital information that Mr. Shell requires at once.
What?
That letter you're holding is meant to be delivered to Mr. Shell personally as soon as possible. I don't want to tell you how to do your job, mister, but that letter's been labeled urgent and confidential. Understand? Urgent and confidential.
You don't seem to be understanding the situation here.
The situation is that you must do your job and deliver that letter personally to Mr. Shell.
But the guy is dead in there.
In order to ensure the confidential nature of the correspondence is not breached.
The guy is dead.
This is to be done promptly, as it is seemingly quite important.
Dead. In that office, on the floor. Operator, I need the police.
Play to Mr. Shell.
What the hell?
Play to Mr. Shell.
done then.
Good. That letter was very urgent and confidential. I don't know what type of job you think you have, but blatant criminality is not a part of it.
Huh?
In this country, we have laws against this sort of thing. Fraud is a serious offense, an A-class felony.
A-class what? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about you marching right back into Mr. Shell's office and explaining yourself. He's a nice man, and if you throw yourself on the mercy of his court, he may not press charges.
Charges? I don't give a ladybug about charges.
Wouldn't have such an attitude if I were you, young man. The police may have to become involved.
That's perfect. Let's get the cops down here right away.
That is for Mr. Shell to decide. But if it was up to me, I'd have you thrown in the hoosgow. Now, get in there.